to give you some tips on buying the perfect RV for you, because the perfect RV for you is different than the perfect RV for us.
Here, we're Rick and Sharon.
I'm a retired carpenter, and after almost 50 years of camping, almost exclusively in tents, at Sharon's suggestion, I converted my cargo trailer into a custom camper. Now we camp all over.
We don't want your beautiful camper to wind up looking like this. The biggest reason I think people don't use the campers, I think they buy the wrong type of camper. We could go into a lot right now and look at all these different types of RVs, and there could be great sales, and maybe we just got a tax return back or something and we're like, oh yeah, let's go. And we have this vision or this idea of how we want to use it, and I think what happens is it doesn't quite fit the vision. We liked tent camp. We like the outdoors in the woods setting. Some people, they don't want that. They don't want the bugs and the ticks and the trees, and maybe they have solar and it's interfering with that. A lot of RV parks, it's just a park that you pull through sites, which is great for those bigger rigs. And it's just one after each other, and that's what they call camping. To me, that's not camping, but it's what you want. Like I said, number one, where do you want to camp? Knowing what kind of camping you're going to do is going to be very important for what kind of rig you want to buy. So let's talk about the classes.
Class A's are usually the biggest. Those are the ones that look like they were converted buses or something. Generally built on a bus chassis. Sometimes on like a large truck chassis. Very expensive, but they offer all the amenities of home in one package. They'll have washers and dryers in them. Some of them have multiple big screen televisions. They generally have a pretty full-size kitchen, and a lot of them have refrigerators that are as big as a home refrigerator. The negative is the upfront expense. They can run into the millions. $200,000-300,000 is pretty much the lower end of the range. But then you've got the maintenance, tires, other repairs. The fuel is expensive. And then the other negative, of course, is because of the size of it, they're difficult to park. They're a little bit harder to drive. Some of them you should actually probably take a special course to drive a Class A, and some of them require special licenses.
Now the advantage to that is normally, and I don't know, this could be a state regulated, but you can tow a small car behind them. Actually, I've seen people tow trucks behind them. All right, I'm going to talk about Class B, camper van or converted van. Some of them can be pretty pricey now too.
Yeah, the Mercedes Sprinters that are factory or converted by a company.
Now, they're nice. I've seen some very luxury ones, but they're compact. They're tight.
They still offer a lot of amenities.
It's convenient because you don't have to tow it. I guess a negative would be if you have to run to the store for something, you need to leave your campsite and go.
Well, any one-piece camping rig, that's another thing. If you're going to take the rig and you're hooked up to electric and water and sewer, you got to disconnect all of that just to run into town for groceries or to the liquor store.
Let's talk about the C's. They're the in-between side.
C's are built with a truck or a van front and then a camper body built onto the rest of the chassis behind it.
They're usually between 20 and 31 feet. So they're definitely a little bit roomier than...
Yeah, well, they're wider too.
We go to towables, which is the most common, the travel trailer that you tow behind. Obviously, you need a truck or a van or something to tow it with.
That's not necessarily true. If you have a teardrop or even a pop-up, they're usually light enough in weight they can be towed by a passenger vehicle with a hitch.
But the problem is the teardrops, they're cute and all, but can you stand up in any of them?
And there may be one or two that you can stand up with. Most of them are designed so that they're not sticking up in the air so high as your gas mileage down. Tremendous.
Let's talk about the pop-ups.
There's advantage of pop-up is it can have certain items stored in it. But when you get to the site, you got to set it up. And what you're camping in, except for the fact that the roof is hard, it's basically a tent with a hard roof.
But they can be roomy. I'll put a
roomy.
link up here. This was a huge pop-up that we toured. One of the negative things with a towable, and again, this could vary by state, I don't think we can hook our cargo camper up to your van and then pull a motorcycle or something behind the cargo camper. I think that's illegal in this state, but I don't know if it's illegal all over.
No, it isn't.
The other one is a toy hauler, and a toy hauler is just, it's spacious enough you can put your motorcycle in, ATV or snowmobile, whatever you're using. The sleeping facilities are not as luxurious as the regular RVs and stuff.
Right. Well, a lot of times the way these toy haulers are set up, the sleeping arrangements are fold up beds on the rear walls or the side walls in the back end of the trailer where you would haul your toys.
If you want to go camping because you want to take your ATVs and go riding in the woods, then that toy hauler is going to be a perfect choice for you. So let's talk about the fifth wheel.
Fifth wheels are basically, the front has a hitch assembly on it that's very similar to that of a tractor trailer. And in the bed of the pickup is a hitch that's mounted that again looks like the back hitch on a tractor trailer. And you can connect your trailer to it. The advantage of it is the pickup bed will ride underneath of that front end of the trailer, so you can actually jackknife it and still get around, maneuver.
They're easier to tow.
Another advantage is in a lot of states, if you've got a family, fifth wheel, in a lot of states, it's legal for people to occupy the fifth wheel while they're driving.
I love the designs of the fifth wheels.
The bigger ones anyway.
They're absolutely beautiful. So we are classless. The cargo campers, I don't know how long they've been around. They were trailers, people converted them. The good part of our conversion is the price. It did not cost that much. He converted it himself. He already had the camper. It would have cost us way more to buy a camper. And that's another thing. If you're thinking about buying a used camper, you need to know where you're going to be using it, because some campgrounds will not let a camper in that's over 10 years old. And some campgrounds will not let a cargo camper in. Now, we have stayed at a couple campgrounds and they've let us in, but I think they did tell us they wouldn't let us stay there for the whole season. I'm going to say stop. The RV industry is going to hate me. Before you buy, rent one. Try it. Try the Class C or the van, the Class B, or you can even rent towables, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you can rent all this stuff. I'm going to put a link. I think it's RV Share. I have a link to up here. You can rent people's RVs and try it out.
Well, nowadays too, it's become more popular. People are using RVs like Airbnbs. So they may have a Class A motorhome. It's parked on their property. You want to stay in it right there, you can use it as like an Airbnb. So
Yes.
that gives you the experience of what it's like.
Just without driving it.
Okay.
Yeah. Different campers can offer a different experience. If you buy the wrong type of camper, or it could be the wrong type of camper for the type of camping or traveling experience that you want. So
Yep.
they need to match.
Most people, their first consideration when they decide they want to buy a camper is their budget.
It has to be.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's true.
Your first question that you need to ask yourself is, what am I going to do with it? What kind of camping do I like to do? Then you can look at what kind of rig that I can afford. Let me give you an example about what we're talking about in terms of the rig matching the type of camping that you're going to do. I primarily tent camped most of my life, and I was a Boy Scout leader to boot. I had different tents for different types of camping. So
You still do. How many tents do you have?
I still have 5 tents. But at one time I had 13. I had everything from the tiniest pup tent up to I think a 12 by 20, and then everything in between.
You bring up a good point. They have different purposes. Obviously, you do not want to go backpacking with this tent with this great big footprint that's very, very heavy.
It's not even the footprint. The heavy is the
heavy
big part of it. But trying to carry one of those tents on a backpacking trip,
Yeah.
you don't even have to worry. You'll never make it to where you're going to set up. It doesn't work. Some of those tents are like 30 pounds. Well, I've heard so many people talking about, oh yeah, I used to do that. We bought a trailer and then the wife decided she didn't like it.
Yeah.
She didn't like camping.
On YouTube, you see all these beautiful places and these campers are out. And these women are out there and they're digging for worms and getting down and dirty. And you're thinking, oh, my wife can do that. She could. Well, they're different people. Maybe she doesn't have any desire to do that or is grossed out by it. And that's okay, but you need to know what your individual desire is for that, rather than feeding off of something that you see on YouTube. We're all unique. When I go camping, I like to experience the outdoors. And I think I said this to you before. The difference to me about going to a destination and staying in a motel or a hotel and camping feels like I'm immersed in the environment, which I guess means getting down and dirty and sweaty and having the sun and the rain if it's raining. But that's more of the experience, where the other one, if I'm staying in a motel or something, I feel like I'm on the outside, kind of on the outskirts looking in. So I'm more immersed in the experiences, which is what I want. If I wanted a luxury hotel to stay at, I would stay at a luxury hotel. I just don't think I would want a luxury hotel setting in the middle of the woods. But that's me. Do your research and be sure to go into our description, because, not only just some of the links that I'm going to put up here will be in there too, but some of our affiliate links, things that we talk about could be down in there. So if you want more information on that, go into our description.
All right, well, I hope you learned something from what we said, or at least maybe gotten a different vein or train of thought from what you've been considering, or we've given you some more things to consider.
And remember, we have no class.
I think we'll put that on the back of the trailer.
If you decide that you want to make your own camper, check out this video.
That's a wrap, everyone. You know what to do if you like this video.
You all come back now, you hear?